And we are at Max's at Eastman Place with Mr. Bobby Militello. Bobby, as we're coming upon the centennial, Mr. Dave Brubeck, what are your thoughts about the man?
There isn't enough time to tell you my thoughts about it. I think about him almost every day, or I think about his wife Iola, and I talk about the road with him so many times to so many different people. I talk about when I'm doing education. I talk about when I'm just hanging with somebody. I talk about it on gigs when I play his tunes. I relate to them and show them where I think he was at when he wrote it, or where we were at when he wrote it, things like that, and what he was thinking. So I'm thinking about him all the time. I still dream that we're hanging out, and I'll talk to him, and Iola's there, and we just talk, and I wake up feeling like, yeah, I'm feeling really good, man. I really do dream, and we talk in my dreams. So I believe that's the spirit. That's the way the spirit talks to you, through your dreams. Yeah.
So, Bobby, talk about how you got into the band in the first place. When did you get that call? And what was that call like when you heard his voice saying, hey, Bobby?
Well, first, I got the gig because of his wife. We were playing at what was called Mudstock. It was a rained-out ski slope at Sugarbush, Vermont. And it was raining like crazy, and I was on with Maynard. So we're talking about 77, 78, somewhere in that area. And I played a flute solo on Pagliacci, which the whole band stops, and I got to play by myself. And I was doing some crazy, using my voice and flute and contrary motion and all kinds of stuff. And I always says, hey, Dave, you got to come out here and hear this kid. You got to hear this kid. So he comes out and he listens to me play, and I get a complete standing ovation from about 20,000 people. And Iola wrote me down in her book, my name. Said it used to be Maynard Ferguson. Now we go to 1983, and I'm in the middle of producing my first album for Motown that Rick James got me the contract to do, because he loved my band. He used to hear my band all the time. So I'm about to do a funk album with Lenny White producing, and I'm in the midst of all of this stuff and everything else, and the phone rings, and it's like, hello, Bobby. I says, yeah. He says, this is Dave Brubeck. And I'm like, I want to go, okay, all right, okay. And he says, I'm in New York, and we're going to be doing I need a horn player, basically, is what he said. And do you want to come to New York and play with us at SIR for a little while? He had the class not to say, do you want to audition? He just, do you want to come and play with us? And when I realized this was no gaff, I was like, yes, no question, yes. Now, you got to remember, I'm elated that I'm doing my own album on the Gordy label, which is the A label of Motown. I'm on cloud 9 already, right? Now Dave Brubeck's calling me to go play with him. Now I'm just way too high. So I go to New York about 2 weeks later. Dave sent me the music ahead of time. I memorized every chart. Everything that he sent me, I had it down. So I go to the rehearsal. Who's playing first at the rehearsal? Gene Wright and Morello. So I get to go up and play a couple of the standards and take 5 and then a couple of tunes, and they're calling standards, and I knew every standard you could possibly. And I'm playing along with them, and we're having a ball. And so now we finish that, and then the kids come up, Chris and Danny, and them come up, or Chris and Randy Jones come up. And now we're going to play all the tunes he sent me, which are the current tunes. So we played through all of those, and I got those down. So now Dave is excited. He's very happy. He thinks I'm doing really well. And now he starts fooling around on the piano and playing other standards and stuff. And I'm just hitting standards one right after the other with him. Then he starts fooling around without even just playing chords. And I'm following everything he's doing. So he's an ear player. Dave was a true ear player. Everything was about what he heard. That's the way he played. And so am I. So the two of us could play together without even knowing what we were doing. And he was enamored. I was freaking out. I never asked about money. Not once. Never. When he asked me if I wanted to do the gig, I said yes. That was it. And about a month later, I got a call to do my first gig with him. And I went out, and that was an orchestra gig, and they had no charts. Because the whole time that the band was together, they never wrote charts. They just memorized the stuff, and that was it. So I had to fake my way through. And I have the original Hilton letterhead out of the drawer that I wrote down. French horns come in, this comes in, that happens, and then I play 8 choruses. Or I'm open reasonable solo, or open long solo. That was my charts. And that was it. And I got through the gig great, everything was fine. And then the rest is history. I stayed with him for 30 years.
Bobby, thank you so much, man.
Well, you're very welcome. I think I got a little caught up in my own thing and talked a little too much there, but
Never.
let me tell you something. What you guys do for jazz in this area is a godsend, because there's not enough stations and not enough people that have the forethought to know that the art of jazz is important to everyone to be able to be exposed to. Yes, it's not your biggest audience, but you guys tailor to an audience that is perceptive, thoughtful, thought-evoking. They want things that make them think, and it's art. And you do it, man. You're still doing it. You're not trying to go for, everything being news and all that kind of stuff. So God bless you guys for taking care of business at 90.1. I mean, come on, man.